question becomes, can he take what he did in the Mountain West into high-level college football? He pitches it out to the edge, and a first
part of that New Mexico triumvirate on offense.
And the first run is straight up the middle, and that move.
So far, so good on this first drive.
One of the best total offenses in college football last year.
John Vaughn's, replacing one of probably the best linebackers. Ball starts, also a tight end.
Motion Parker out the backfield, tight window throw.
Pitt to let him turn up.
First third down of the night. To the right, throw to the left. And Utah converts out to the edge again with their two-way player.
We'll see him as a returner, as a DB, doing it all.
He got 11 on that play, and this is where Dane Pierce, excellent on the run to his right. And four different starting quarterbacks last year.
Pump and go.
Not there. Dane Pierce to his left, to the end zone, off the hands, and 10-1 in the 100. Big fella's in there on third and short, and Utah moving that to punch it ahead on third down. Now inside the red zone for the first time for Utah.
Against a guy like Dan Pierre, and space is his friend.
And Nate Johnson in there in motion, and Dan Pierre keeps. Showed you in starting games fast.
Zero blitz.
And out to the edge, it opens up, and a first drive. Untouched for UCLA. And here he comes from his own 5. He bounces to the edge, and he's twisted down.
Type of kid, and we'll see.
He throws on his first play from scrimmage, and it's a pass rusher the last couple of years at Utah. Almost batted down again this time. Iamaleava buzzes it past him. Hughes was wearing Utah red as Utah won that game 14-7. Tonight, the first down. UCLA did not run the ball well last year. They think they'll be much better this year. Loaded up. Iamaleava gives. And how much more highly he thinks of this offense than last year. Back of him coming to UCLA. Sean Foster liked what he saw from Sincere that night. Iamaleava over the top in on 10 yards prior to this. And out of shotgun on 4th and 1 here. It's broken up incomplete.
Only athletically, but his leadership style, his leadership skills, and another guy that can see that play action.
Accurate to great finds from Olympus for Utah. Walk on quality of this big front. It likely sends 2 tackles to the NFL after this year.
He did not cross the neutral zone, so
Dan Pierre crossing him up and get down right in front of danger. Dan Pierre has him on the edge of the red zone again. Smith-Snowden, 3rd catch already. Averaging almost 7 yards a rush early in this game. That looked like it was off the motion. They give it. Snowden active early and prominently featured. Now Dan Pierre taking off. And UCLA rallies to him. Jalen Utah before missing the extra point on a 75-yard drive first time. Back to the red zone again on a 2nd down. Dan Pierre, nobody home. He's dancing again. He's got space out to the right. Now it closes, and he squirms ahead. 4 of 4 overall for Utah. It's Snowden out the other way, weaving out of a tackle. He's got the first down. He jukes his way for a touchdown.
Designed here with the lead blocker. Has a chance to get him on the ground. But again, a good job, good feel. Those DBs sometimes.
He got the job late in the offseason last year. Now a first true full cycle. Big noon with Julian Saint against Arch Manning. Out to the edge, and I think Spencer's got the one.
I'm going Spencer.
Right tackle for Utah has the one up.
But Logan's not giving up.
Logan is in there again. Got the one.
I'm going Spencer.
Right tackle for Utah has the one up.
But Logan's not giving up.
Logan is in there again. It's imperfect. Get to the end zone the 2 times they've touched it. Catch called for. And
you see these guys in person.
UCLA showed a little edge pressure. Dan Pierre escapes the other way through the contact. Everything has been short yardage and conversion downs for Utah. All day for Dan Pierre. He's pointing. He's got nowhere to go, but out the back door. And
but a first down.
And back to the ground where Utah has chewed up a bunch of yards already. Already over 100 yards on the night, but the ball comes out. So after all that, and ends up being short yardage again. Burst in the run game with Utah doing this against a good run defense the last couple of years. Open man, touchdown, Dampier.
Flied. A hard sell in the backfield.
Linebacker.
Yes, yes!
And is loud and much talked about offseason. And he's on target to Jack Peterson, his tight end. Positive start as they hope to begin a comeback. And that almost broke back with Lander Barton teaming up in the spring at linebacker. Woods almost cracked one, and he gets cracked.
Stay in square, seeing that running back, patient, and then strike. Great finish. That is a fundamental finish. That'll make Coach Kyle Whittingham very proud. Seeing Lander
plays touchdown-saving tackle and a big thump. And now Iamaleava leans ahead. But expected to be a big part of the offense for UCLA. On first down, pocket moving. Iamaleava escapes, stays on his feet. He's out to the edge through another tackle, and using those long was hit a bunch. And the Utes are in the backfield again, but that sticking with the run game, a bunch on this drop. Down and long most of the night. This a 3rd and 3.
QB drops.
Iamaleava got it on the ground last time and fighting his way. Stall. And right between the golf on being physical. They have all of Kyle Whittingham's time. And they got a push. Drive continues. Iamaleava flips it. And that is a touchdown. Here at Utah, he was a terrific back at Bill Belichick on Monday. And this ball is live. Deck inside the 5.
Smartly covers it and doesn't
start for them a defensive end eventually. So long field for the first time tonight for Devin Dampier. And Nate Johnson, former starting quarterback in there. He's just a decoy, and they flip it up. Moiai in there as an extra blocker. And Dampier running behind him. And the girth of those guys up front get him off their own goal line. Dampier taking a shot. He has it incomplete, but a flag is
automatic first down.
Merriweather already presenting a
and a first down by penalty on a drive that started at their own 5. Now escaping up the back, and that's another first down for Utah.
2 timeouts.
Utah has been literally unstoppable tonight on their 4th drive of the night, looking for another score, and that was almost dropped in there.
Has to get it out. And Pleasant, a little left hand if you're a Utah fan.
The UCLA fans are saying slow-mo always makes it look worse. Back to the ground after the shot. And a few first downs. And now in plus territory on 3rd down. Dampier around the edge, and they rally up to get him. The all-hair team on display tonight. All-hair All-Americans. So Ryan Phillips out for the reigning offensive rookie of the year, J.D. Daniels. And the Commanders. That game or other regional. So get the ball out of halftime so they can double up. He sets, he fires, and out of the reach of
unit via New Mexico. Coverage and mess with you. Take care of the ball.
They rush forward. They twist it up front. It's underneath the Woods, and he powers ahead. Oh, my goodness.
Safeties. They cover the primary. He checks it down, and they convert.
Through pressure, that is broken.
Of the UCLA offensive
Holding.
line.
Offense number 77.
The coordinator for Utah, Morgan Scalley, likes to bring. Off the play fake. Iamaleava zigzagging through the backfield. Through a tackle. Bounces off his own man.
Eyes up, no. Initiated with the crown, but wow, was that a great finish. And Deshaun would absolutely be proud.
And the pocket defense for what they just did. Get home to the quarterback. Twisting up front. Iamaleava escapes. He pumps, and he's tripped up. Jackson Benny does get it away. No trickery. And a fair catch. And if they get to the 40, that shrinks this 2-minute situation as they do that preseason. There's a fake pitch out to the edge, and Dampier's got the first. One timeout in their pocket. Utah to the outside, and that was
a great job by her. She got in front of it, protected the lens.
Let's took it off back into play. And Utah right back up in the ball on a 3rd down. And Dampier keeps himself. He's met in the hole, but that's
Clock spike it here.
Well, they
won it if you execute it correctly, and too many men on the field.
Dampier has it down the field goal range.
Do
the math.
Defense, 12 players on the field. That penalty is declined.
So in range to try it with one timeout on a field goal at the end of the half. They have more in it. Dampier survey. Running out of time to the sideline, complete.
Judge here. Let's see if he runs out on his own. Yes, he does. He can't be the first
Offense
one
number
to touch
12. This player went out of bounds. Came back in, was the first to touch the pass. Lost it out to
First attempt of his college career. Curtis lets it fly. And Curtis as Iamaleava and UCLA touch it for the first time in half number 2. And he floats it over the top. Good touch to Gilmer. And after he floated one over the backers, he leaps over the backers. Gets the action.
Full house-ish.
Play fake again. It's Gilmer bringing it full house. 3 plays, 3 first downs. Play fake again. Pressure from the backside. And off target. Did not handle pressure well last year at Tennessee, meaning the blitz. He gets this one out quickly before any blitz can come close.
That's a straight drop.
Here's the heat again. It's picked up and incomplete on the back. As UCLA looks for points out of the half. But Gawney. Utah had trouble in this spot in the first half. Smith-Snowden hangs on to the ball. This was one punt from Utah.
That's right.
So 4 of 5. Scoring in the first half. Their first drive of the second half. Run on the edge and a flag out.
holding. Offense number 71.
The first one also came on the opening drive of the first half for Utah. And they keep it on the ground and give here his quarterback. Good start. Pressure backside. Chisholm couldn't get home. He spins out. This is what he does. He demoralizes the pass rush, and UCLA. Utah with their first of the second half. Out to Snowden. Race to the sticks. He's out of the tackle for a first defensive back. Has the touchdown, several catches. He's got the ball in his hands again with the line just mauling times too. They've given him the ball half his snaps on offense. A long throw, it's short, but dug out of. I wonder what Snowden's mileage is today. Another one underneath from the turn-up field and hooking up twice in a row. Dampier and Davis. We're back to the ground with Rogers. And all those guys getting a touch on this drive. This is out to Buchanan outside. And there are Bruins all.
See, but probably take a little bit longer to jump.
Patient start of the run for Parker. Powerful finish to dominated on third down tonight. Another short one. And ahead for Rogers. And
be ready for a play-action home run off this at some point. And they're going to keep pounding it. And again, a healthy quarterback doing these things is the difference.
Snowden got a quick break, and he's set. Rogers was just in the backfield. Now he's out at tight end. And a fake to Snowden. Dampier dances and lowers his head. In a row that's been top 10 in the country in stopping the run. They do stop the run on
1-yard gain that time for Utah.
Quick set, quick pop. It's caught, piled. Behind all that poundage, another first down. Vaughn's in the defense for UCLA. They've been on the field for 15 plays. As Rogers ducks in minutes by the time this ball is snapped. And the run is stopped. For 18 plays in a row, Vaughn's. Here's the 19th. On the move, Dampier, his receiver fell down. Larry's 4th and goal from the 2. Behind his tight ends, Dampier is in. Paying off the 4th down decision.
Extra lineman tackle over situation. Keith Olsen, 74. 73.
Drive that lasted all week. They're 27th technically receiving votes at the start of the year. Not quite the same preseason hype as normal. It's kind of how come showed up on defense a bunch too. And this drive for UCLA. And keep it with Thomas, who is spun down. 13 on offense. They've held UCLA 2 of 8 on defense. Middle pressure picked up, and Gilmer 4th down and 2. UCLA chasing 20 points. Iamaleava scanning, and he does it himself. Around their first drive of the half, before Utah took almost 10 minutes off the clock with a touchdown drive. On the move again. Iamaleava takes some contact.
Nico to the sideline. Protect yourself. Good effort all.
Play fake. And into traffic.
Down 3 scores. Got to go here. So just playing your 3rd and medium stuff. Get out.
Pressure at his feet, and down he goes.
You know, the crowd, the fans there are awesome. Great passion. You can see that in the Rose Bowl tonight.
Last year, taking over for Danton Lim. And they had a good second half defensively, second half of the year defensively.
To patch things together against.
And all 5 starters back on the offensive line for Utah. With inside 14 minutes to go in the game. And Parker slow played it, and then behind Alabama. And over 200 yards on the ground tonight. So
if not closer inside of 15. As you said earlier, that's such an unbalanced formations, a bunch of shift motions, a bunch of empty.
Back-to-back quick hitters, and their freshman tight end who they are vertical at 40 inches for Buchanan. And Rogers is short there. Dampier steps up, eludes, lets it fly. Open man, Merriweather swings his way inside the
Cal makes sense.
Utah, wide open man. 2-point try. Fake it, pitch it, and UCLA rallies up with John
Devin Dampier has been outstanding.
Iamaleava back out there, and he misses.
Peton, and they're building for the future.
Pressure, got it away. Peterson has a first down as he
identifies as the extra rusher, knows he has to get it out before Benny. Well done.
And it takes the short one to Woods, who sheds Benny, who is just on that blitz. And back to getting late for Iamaleava, and the pocket collapse.
Earlier, now it's John Henry Daly just working, twisting back inside. Just a little bit.
Guys, but
Go.
4th sack of the night, and this one's picked off. Utah forces its first turnover, and it's an interception for Trey Reynolds.
It's an all-out effort play, a combination action, pressure up front, and Reynolds the beneficiary.
8 minutes away from 1-0. And they give it to Andrews. They flashed him in the backfield all night, and the tight end showing his skills in the run game.
Balls in the future, all these defensive guys, I better show a little counter load situation there.
Brings up 1st and goal. And out to the edge. It definitely played out in real time tonight. On 2nd and goal, it's Rogers turning his legs. And 6 inside the red zone tonight. Notable for anybody, but it's due. Packaging and football.
Ball start.
For Utah, it'll be fine-tuned for the future in a much different way for UCLA. Substitute that just a tough matchup for UCLA. I think so. I think
and Iowa State in the championship game, the 4-way tie for first, and it's the most competitive here. His helmet has been locked away for the night. Bird Ficklin in the game at quarterback. A freshman taking his first college snap today. And Utah definitely has the conference's and the country's attention with this result. And here's Ficklin, who has a similar skill set as Dampier, and keeps that. But this is more of the same, translating to the upper level of college football. Ficklin out. 6 different guys scored touchdowns. 3rd down and 1 for Ficklin in Utah, and another first down.
but they just got to execute and finish. And Utah